Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It's Wacky and Weird Wednesday, and we have some odd stories about animals getting into stuff, humans getting into things, and well, this wacky and weird world we live in. This is the first and only international game show, Before Coffee, a father and daughter podcast where we look up our stories right before we started. We've just got caffeine in our bodies and we're learning to read and speak live on stream. Let's roll that segue wheel, but first, get into today's headlines. Today on Wacky and Weird Wednesday. Runaway reindeer sparks huge emergency operation in the UK. And GameStop celebrates $30,000 trade-in by calling its critics trolls.
Really weird Wednesday news today, as we have a Southern California homeowner who has a bear squatted. It's weirder from there. A New Zealand man eats a Fabergé egg, and now the authorities are waiting for things to process.
Belgian authorities puzzled by brazen theft of infant Jesus from a nativity scene. And Raccoon goes on a drunken rampage in Virginia liquor store and passes out on the bathroom floor.
Oof, and then more thievery. And one straight out of Seinfeld, a Hamilton, Ontario man steals a bus and then makes all the stops. And somebody stole a woman's driveway. A actual concrete type asphalt driveway. Huh? Go figure.
What?
People are weird.
The British public has spoken. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie in my weird culture news.
Well, jingle bells. It is. Might not be Christmas, yes, but it's National Protect Your Package Day. National Package Protection Day. Protect that package, will you? And roses are red. Pickles are sour. We give you the news in less than an hour. World's news in less than an hour. On Before Coffee. On December 3rd, 2025 on Before Coffee. Not enough coffee.
Okay. I can't believe somebody stole a driveway. I was not expecting that. I would like to take this concrete slab and take it to my own house. What do you do to protect your packages? I like putting really sharp nails at the exit outside of the box. That would be actually insanity to do that. Let's roll our segue wheel for our first news stories. Come on out, segues. Where did you go?
Just put up a sign. European film order packages.
Yeah.
Just put a sign.
I've become the wheel.
You're being filmed. I don't order packages. Put a box there. You just put a box there so people try to steal it. Empty box. Doesn't have to be anything.
Looks like we've got alliteration headline.
Right, we're gonna alliteration headline for me. Let me get a pen and a paper.
Runaway reindeer. So I've already got two R's for words for you there. This is from Georgia Bates on the Independent. Armed police, Royal Marines, and the Coast Guard have helped save Christmas after a reindeer went on the run in a seaside town. The reindeer fled a festive celebration in the coastal town of Formby, Merseyside, in the early afternoon on Saturday. That would have been, I think, the 30th of November. They're already celebrating Christmas on the 30th of November? Oh, 29th even, the 29th of November. Sparking a huge search operation. The animal was eventually discovered on a beach where it was located with thermal binoculars before being returned to its owners in Wales. Got all the way from Merseyside to Wales? How did it... Well, I guess they transported it to Merseyside. A spokesperson for the Southport Offshore Rescue Trust, also known as Southport Lifeboat, said that they received a call around 4:45 p.m. asking them to assist in the search for the escaped reindeer. Merseyside police, who had been searching for the deer for several hours, by this point had managed to track down the animal on Formby Beach but lost sight of it. They were worried it might end up in a nearby river, so called in the lifeboat quad team, as well as the Coast Guard teams from HM Coast Guard Southport and HM Coast Guard Crosby to help. The Southport lifeboat team managed to locate the animal using thermal binoculars. They then used quad bikes to shepherd it in to some nearby sand dunes, where a police drone was used to monitor the animal. The reindeer was said to be pretty tired by this point, and officers did hope it would lie down in the sand dunes and rest, which it eventually did. A vet traveled from Salisbury, Wiltshire, with sedatives, and plans were made to tranquilize the animal and then get it to a trailer back to its stable. The Southport lifeboat crew were stood down at around 10 p.m., having spent about 5 hours assisting in the search. The vet was supported by the Royal Marines, who were on exercise in a nearby firing range. Yeah, call the Marines for this. I mean, I get it, right? Reindeer have pretty big horns. They could probably do some serious damage to you. But I feel like this is a bit too much, right? Like, get the Marines. We need the Marines for this extraction, reindeer extraction.
Right.
They managed to sedate the animal at around 1:20 a.m. on Sunday morning, the 30th of November. The spokesperson for Southport Lifeboat described this evening's events as bizarre, adding it's quite topical for the time of year, isn't it? They said the emergency services are happy to lend a hand and all played part in the rescue. Christmas is saved thanks to some great work from multiple agencies, Southport Lifeboat added. HM Coast Guard Crosby posted about the rescue on Facebook, commenting, "Thankfully, Christmas is saved thanks to all agencies involved." Is it though? It sounds like that might have been Dasher. You know, and Dasher was trying to get back to Santa to get on the sleigh, and he's stuck in his stable in Wales somewhere. I need to get back to Santa. Is Christmas saved? Not sure. You have an alliteration for me?
Unfortunately. I just wanted you to know that it couldn't possibly be Dasher for my headline because it has to start with an R. So, rambunctious reindeer romp ruined. Rudolph remorseful.
Oh no.
They only found him because of his shiny nose. But, you know. I know, this nose gave him away. Right, cover that nose, Rudolph. You're never good.
Okay, my next story is about GameStop making a lot of money in trade-ins and calling all of its critics trolls. This is from Patricia Hernandez on Polygon. A historic trade-in worth $30,000 isn't really indicative of how much customers will get their wares at GameStop. Furthermore, any trolls who publicly claim that GameStop trade-in values are bad are hereby factually and demonstrably incorrect, the release says. Any prior and ongoing objections to our trade values are now deemed without merit and factually invalid. This is the idea that you get a game, let's say a game from 2006, you're like, I don't play this anymore, it's just collecting in my house, I'm going to trade it into GameStop and they're going to give me money for it, right? But this has been a conspiracy since GameStop came on the market, that they always buy the game for way less than it's worth, right? And then they sell it for more. Right, so you'll sell a game for $10 and then they'll sell it for 20, and you're like, what the hell? I could have got $20 for this. You're selling it for a double markup. The tone in this message from GameStop is a light one, but there is a hint of truth to the defense sniff here. About a fifth of the word count in the press release, supposedly about celebrating a historic moment in GameStop history, is dedicated disputing the idea that GameStop does not pay well when customers bring merch in. The same release also notes that the fair market value of a card, a Pokemon card to be particular, this is not about a game but a Pokemon card. They traded in a Pokemon card that is worth $30,000. So they paid somebody $30,000 for a Pokemon card. Money laundering. The actual value of the card is $33,883. At an 11% difference is pretty good, all things told, GameStop said. Pokemon cards might command eye-watering prices, but there likely aren't that many people who are in the market for a $33,000 exchange for one. The trade is not particularly reflective of how much GameStop might offer a customer for its main product, video games, in the future. Battlefield 6, a video game that's less than 2 months old, will only get you $27.50 in credit, even though it's you can buy it digitally for $60. Borderlands 4, another fairly recent game, lands somewhere between 18 to 22. Yet again, probably a $60 game that you're buying for 22. You're selling back for 22. Depending on the platform, while GameStop sells pre-owned copies of Battlefield 6 for 52. That's almost double the price that they would be buying it from you. And Borderlands 4 for around 48. The difference are vastly larger than 11%. Yeah, I would say 100% because it's double the price.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 100% increase. These are GameStop's more desirable trade-ins. Other games would fetch even lower trade-in values. GameStop also doesn't address how many of the things people would actually want to know about this transaction. Like, for example, why would someone want so much money in credit for GameStop? Where did the card come from? And why did the customer choose GameStop specifically to sell to? And most importantly, how many Funko Pops can you get for $30,000? But all things told, this marketing ploy is not really the greatest argument for why GameStop isn't stingy. And it doesn't change the fact that GameStop's upcoming Trade-in Anything Day will likely be a huge mess for its employees. If anything, the PR move will set anyone hoping for a good trade-in as an expensive Gengar up for disappointment. So, there's your short story about, hey, somebody sold a 30,000 Pokemon card to GameStop. That does not mean you're going to get the same kind of deal. Right? They lost out on...
Fuck off if you don't like it.
They lost out on $3,000. Right? They could have got it for $33,000. But they lost out on $3,000. And
y'all can piss off if you don't like it. Yeah.
You guys are all trolls, they say. You're all trolls.
Gamer... Ready for the headlines? Yes. Read. Gamer gurus get grumpy greeting from greedy GameStop.
Hey, I'm glad we gave them all those stock options, like, 8 years ago?
Hey, stock options might be worth something if you cash them. Like, if you pay attention to the stock, that's the only thing. Man. What you do with stock options is you don't sell them, you don't do anything with them. You borrow against them. Right?
Yeah.
Because they're not income. They're not income. And the government doesn't treat them like income. And if you're good, say you got $1 million in stock options and you borrow $1 million against it, you don't have to pay any taxes on the stocks options, but you don't have to pay interest on that loan, which is going to be percent because you're rich. But anyway.
Yeah, completely correct. But there's your weird and wacky story about selling a lot of money. Let's roll our segue.
Cheat the tax. How to cheat the tax man. Money laundering is what it is. Money laundering.
I've always thought that about Pokemon cards. I totally understand wanting to collect cards. It's always been a thing. You know, baseball cards were the original card collecting thing. But the fact that they're selling some of these cards for so much money is like, guys.
Right.
It's just some foil on some cardboard. Like, why are you selling it for $30,000?
In some places, you can just turn gift into money, right? You just get your refund.
Our next segue is accurate metaphor and simile.
All right. Metaphors and similes. I'll note that later. We're going to talk about, first of all, we're going to talk about Southern California. We're going to talk about aminals breaking into people's houses. AP News has a story. Southern California homeowner vexed by a bear squatting in his crawl space. Man, I hate a bear in my crawl space. From Jamie Ding from AP News. Hey, Ken Johnson, 63, just got a new roommate last week. A black bear living in a crawl space under his home in Southern California. The bear was seen in a video footage clambering out from beneath his house Tuesday. He had installed a camera near the space in June when he saw what looked like damage caused by an animal. I'm not going to go in there to find out. I'm just going to put a camera. Smart guy. You don't know what you're going to find, and you might not like it. Nothing showed up on the camera until last week, and now he's trying to figure out how to make it leave. Well, it's animal control, dude. It's a huge bear.
It's nice and warm in here, man. Why would I leave?
It's a huge bear, and it is hibernation season. It is a huge bear, Johnson said, describing it as the tail of a table, as tall as a table, and bigger than a trash bins in front of his house. It's really unnerving because I don't know if he's going to tear everything up under the house there. I don't know how to get him out. Tranquilizer gun and a big chain. Johnson lives in Altadena, sorry, that's a dairy, name of a dairy in California. Also, that must be where the dairy is located. Johnson lives in Altadena, an unincorporated community northeast of Los Angeles that was devastated by the Eaton fire in January. The fire killed at least 19 people and scorched thousands of structures. And Probably destroyed a lot of habitat for the bears, right? But it also tore through the Angeles National Forest, which is not really a forest. It's a lot of brush. You want to call it a forest, that's up to you. But I'm taller than most of the trees. Displaying wildlife from their natural habitats and destroying their food supply. Shortly after the fire, at least 2 bears were found taking refuge in people's evacuated homes in Altadena. State officials removed a massive 525-pound adult male bear from a crawl space in their man's home in January because the utility crews could not get in to restore the power. And the bear was too large to be tranquilized, so employees from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife set a bear trap before taking Angeles National Forest to police with a tracking collar, the state agency wrote on social media. Gave it a present, a tracking collar. In February, another homeowner found himself an unwelcome roommate snapping pictures of a bear lounging by the pool and bringing food back to the crawl space at night, the Los Angeles Times reported. In the foothills of bear country, it's important to close crawl spaces with bear-proof material in advance of winter months to discourage bears from denting and damaging property, the CDFW wrote on social media after the incident. So it's not cold enough in Southern California for bears to hibernate. They will engage in behavior called denting, where they take long naps but may emerge periodically to eat. Right. They still have a biological clock because the days aren't as long. They don't get as much time to forage during the day, so they just sleep. Since Tuesdays, Johnson's bear has come and gone from his house several times. You can hear all kinds of clunking and booming under the floorboards, and the bear rummaged through his trash cans on Sunday evening before retreating back to his chosen home. It has dark brown fur with a tan snoot and 2 tan marks on its chest. Other neighbors have seen the same bear around the area before and call it Barry. Barry the bear. Although Johnson said he doesn't know if the bear is male or female. Well, whatever. Bears don't give a shit. I mean, they care when they're mating, but when they're eating you, it don't matter. The plan is I'm going to buy a bunch of dinner rolls. If the bear isn't removed soon, Johnson mused, he might have to take matters into his own hands. Well, why haven't they removed this guy? I mean, they removed the other ones. What the hell? They got something better to do? Well, we'll get to your bear. How about March? Does that sound good? I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. Johnson's plan is I'm going to buy a bunch of dinner rolls and line them down the street up to a hole and have some sandbags ready, Johnson said. When he comes down the street to get the dinner rolls, throw sandbags in there and cover it with pepper spray and just hope he stays away. Okay, works for me. I don't know. Whatever. There's your story. Mixing the metaphor.
I think most people do not like to see a large brown thing anywhere. So.
Maybe in the toilet.
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
Well, that's your next story, right?
Is that your metaphor?
Tie it in. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tie it into your next story.
That's your simile. Okay, speaking of large brown things. It's a good thing
no one got hurt, you know, because, yeah, those large brown things can be pretty dangerous.
This might be the weirdest story of the day, but maybe not. Our next story. Well, I got to clap for your metaphor. Hold on, there. Cheat on applause. I think I've been cheating you on applause because of my innate laziness. Okay, next story. New Zealand man accused of eating a Fabergé pendant. Not an egg, it's just a pendant. But it's still, he ate it. Inspired by James Bond, he ate a James Bond pendant. Police in New Zealand are waiting for nature to take its course. Our man allegedly tried to smuggle 33,000 New Zealand dollar or $19,000 American money pendant out of a jewelry store by swallowing it. I didn't know New Zealand dollars are that much less potent than American dollars. That's like lower than a Canadian dollar. Man, New Zealand. Anyway, hey, let's go back to the story. A $19,000 pendant out of a jewelry store by swallowing it. The 32-year-old man, who has not been publicly named, is accused of eating the ornate Fabergé octopus pendant at Partridge Jewelers in Auckland on November 28th. Evidence of the alleged theft has yet to emerge, police said on Wednesday. Police said Wednesday. At the time of the arrest, he underwent a medical assessment and an officer assigned to constantly monitor the man, Inspector Gray Anderson said in a statement. At this stage, the pendant has not been recovered. The man was arrested inside the store minutes after he alleged theft. He appeared at the Auckland District Court November 29th, where he did not enter a plea or on a charge of theft. The alleged loot was a limited edition Fabergé egg pendant inspired by the 1983 James Bond movie Octopussy. Maybe he's just really hungry, and he just likes crunching on pendants. Central to the film's plot is a jewel smuggling operation that involves a fake Fabergé egg. The store's website says the egg, only 50 of which have been made, is crafted from gold painted with green enamel and encrusted with 183 diamonds and 2 sapphires. The pendant is 82 centimeters or 3.3 inches tall and is mounted on a stand. The egg opens up to reveal an 18-karat gold yellow octopus nestled inside, adorned with white diamond suckers and I think they're called suction cups on the octopus, and black diamond eyes. The item description said the octopus.
Well, there goes all my metaphors.
Yeah, man. The octopus surprise pays homage to the eponymous antagonist at the center of the Octopussy film. Time and digestion will tell if another octopus surprise is forthcoming. Given the man is in police custody, we have a duty to care to continue monitoring him and give him the circumstances of what occurred. And they moved the toilet out of his cell and put in a box, probably. Right, here's your little box. Shit in the box, buddy. We ain't gonna let you flush this or do nothing. Dude's not getting out of jail today. Get that thing out of him. So,
yeah.
There's your story. The man is the accused man is due to appear in court on December 8th, which is next Monday. Go ahead, sorry. Let's have it.
Sometimes adults revert to their baby-like tendencies, I guess, and swallow things that should not be swallowed.
You think that's a baby?
That must feel awful. It must feel like one of those videos where you see clogged drains, and they put the tire in one end and pull it out the other end.
It doesn't sound like it's going to be fun to poop out either.
That might be punishment enough, having to extract that.
The man has not been identified. We're going to call him.
If you know anybody who's in jail and they're complaining about bowel movements, you know who it is.
Yeah. His new name is Shit Cramp McDougal. That's going to be his new name. I got a shit cramp. Oh, get McDougal out here. He's got a shit cramp. Right. We're going to get some jewelry. He's like a slot machine now, right? You put some stuff in, it comes out. All right, that's it. That's my story. Spin the wheel.
That's it. Okay, let's roll our wheel. Yeah. For more segue and for my next stories.
Right. Oh my.
It is sarcasm.
Alrighty.
My next stories are about somebody stole an infant Jesus. I swear there is 20 stories about this every Christmas time. People just like, hey, someone left a baby doll out here. Let me take it. This is from Sylvain Plazy on AP News, coming out of Brussels. Belgian authorities are mystified over a brazen theft over the weekend from a Christmas nativity scene of an icon of an infant Jesus Christ that has been widely scorned online. Uh-oh. Controversial Jesus? Snatched from his crib on the Grand Place in historic old Brussels between late Friday night or early Saturday morning. We went there, I think. If you remember when we went to Brussels, I took you to the Grand Place. It was that huge...
Uh-huh.
It was just that huge building with a giant courtyard. They actually play a really cool light show on New Year's and stuff for that. That's last time before previous. I went there for New Year's. We celebrated New Year's in Brussels. Pretty cool. Anyways, there's a nativity scene in the Grand Place in historic old Brussels between late Friday night or early Saturday is when it was snatched. The specific version of the infant Jesus is part of a nativity scene which has been at the center of a maelstrom on social media because the faces of the characters lack eyes, noses, and mouths. Oh. Artist Victoria Maria Kayer crafted the nativity figure out of the cloth in hopes that the faithful from Japan to Nambia would see themselves in the soft fabrics lacking any identifying feature. Let's not try to claim that Jesus was white. How about that? So that every Catholic, regardless of their background or origins, can identify themselves in the biblical story of the birth of Christ, she said. You know, it's also like Christians believe in Jesus too, right? Like, it's not just Catholics, but okay. Georges Louis Bouchez, the head of the center-right MR party, had to make a stink about it because otherwise the far-right a party can't be in. Sorry, did I say far right? Center right. A party can't be in the news if they're not making a stink about something that doesn't matter. Which is part of Belgium's ruling coalition, said on Twitter that Hayer's cloth, Christ, represents the spirit of Christmas. Christmas is ruined because Jesus is made out of cloth. Guess what? The puppet would have made out of cloth anyways. They don't put a real baby in there. He compared the figures to what he called zombie-like people found at a train station. Sorry, my fake crying actually made me start actual crying. My eyes are blurry. Last year, more than 4 million people visited the Christmas market in the center of Brussels' historic old city to sip mulled wine and hot chocolate and shop at 238 vendors of toys, clothes, and ornaments. But it's the Jesus that they really stopped all the Christmas fun, not that lots of 238 of capitalism right there. The center of the square is an enormous Christmas tree looming over a simple white tent holding the manger scene with figures made by Heer, a self-professed devout Catholic. What are you trying to say? She's not really Catholic because she's not been baptized? What do you mean self-professed? Sorry, let me get my Catholic license out. I believe I was baptized, but I did not do my first Holy Communion, so I'm not Catholic. Maybe that's
Jesus
it.
doesn't like you.
She was baptized, but she didn't do her first Holy Communion, so she's not a real Catholic. Her work was selected by both the local Catholic Church, which means she was supported by the church, God forbid, or I guess God accepted, and the city of Brussels in an annual tradition, said Delphine Romanus, deputy director of Brussels Major Events, which manages the manger and market. Early reports that the infant Jesus had been beheaded are false, but Romanus said that the past other baby Jesus figurines had been broken or stolen. Glue them down. Like this happens every year. Just glue them down. They'll have to take the whole tent with them next time. An initial deluge of negative comments on social media has turned positive, Heer said. Authorities have already replaced the baby Jesus in the crypt. Organizers and security say they will keep a closer eye on the manger. They have not taken any additional precautions. Staring at the new baby Jesus, Brussels resident Francis de la Vallée shook his head and said the arguments of artistic merit should never descend in such a sordid affair. What is intolerable is that people attack the work of an artist to damage it, to turn it into a kind of stupid little controversy that ridicules Brussels. Indeed. That's why I'm covering this in our Weird and Wacky News, because guys, it's just a fucking puppet that's going to be up for a month. Get over yourself. if your religion is threatened by a puppet that doesn't have a face and looks like a zombie on a train, you need to go see your priest and ask them for some help.
All right.
Because you're very easily losing faith in your religion, and that's serious.
Right.
Sarcasm, please. Sorry, I was a bit sarcastic there myself.
I was about to say, are they going to cancel Christmas if somebody stole a object, right? And it's like, oh no, things are ruined.
It's gone.
I'm just, it's funny. I mean, I guess it's just funny. I mean, why is it this big thing? But, you know, people are sensitive to this stuff, right? They think their religion is the better religion and everybody else has to observe it. But a lot of people don't feel that way. They're like, F Christmas, it's your thing, it ain't mine. It humiliates a lot of poor people because they can't afford this crap.
At this point, right? Buy some stuff,
right.
Get some stuff, put it all under the tree. If you don't have 20 million gifts under your tree, you're a failure. And no one loves you.
If Christmas was about Jesus, it would be just about, you know, humility instead of gimme, 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 which is all it is now.
Yep.
Maybe we've reversed it. Anyway, it's the winter solstice, it's a pagan holiday, and Jesus was born in March, so stop your nonsense already. The Bible says he was born in March.
Jesus was already a toddler by the time this time came around. He's no longer in the manger.
Ask yourself why the shepherds are out in the fields in the middle of December, or the end of December. Hey, it's freaking cold out here, damn it! They would be saying.
Well, I don't know how cold it would have been in Bethlehem around this time, to be fair.
Here's a clue about sheep. They only go to the fields when there's actual grass to eat. They don't just go, hey, there's no grass, let's hang out here now. No, they don't. They just followed her. Anyway, so Jesus was born in March. There's my
I looked up Bethlehem, but I got Pennsylvania. There's a Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah. There's also a Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
Where's Nazareth? What country is that in? Jordan? Syria?
Judea, whatever that is. I don't know anymore. Nazareth's where they make Martin guitars. Nazareth, Pennsylvania. That's why it's in that song by the band.
But Jesus wasn't
born
there.
Nazareth. Robbie Robertson was looking at the inside of his guitar, and he looked, hey, this is made in
Nazareth, Israel. It is 17 degrees Celsius, which is around, do your math, 40 degrees, 50 degrees-ish. So maybe they were out in the manger. That's not too cold. It's still cold, but, it's not snowing.
They would have been in a what I'm saying, manger is beside the point. But the shepherds out in the field in the story, right? Remember that? They saw the star or whatever, the Star of David or whatever they call it.
The Star of Nazareth.
Right? That's the story.
Yeah.
And why would they be out in the fields? Just to get away from whoever's hired them or something? I don't know.
In the dark, in the dark.
There's no sheep out here, but we're out here in the field. What the hell?
I just decided to sleep with my sheep tonight. Okay, we go to my next story, which is about the drunk raccoon. Gotta talk about this drunk raccoon before I forget. This is a shorter story. It's like only one paragraph. A raccoon has gone on a drunken rampage in Virginia, the state in the United States. Stupor. This is on the Associated Press, coming out of Ashland, Virginia. The masked burglar broke into the closed Virginia liquor store early on Saturday, the 30th of November, and hit the bottom shelf where the scotch and whiskey were stored. Oh no. That's some strong liquor. The bandit was something of a nocturnal menace. Bottles were smashed, a ceiling tile collapsed, and alcohol pooled on the floor. The suspect acted like an animal because, in fact, he's a raccoon. On Saturday morning, the 30th of November, an employee at Ashland, Virginia area liquor store found the trash panda passed out on the bathroom floor at the end of his drunken escapade. I personally like raccoons, said Samantha Martin, an officer who works at the local animal control. They're funny little critters. He fell through one of the ceiling tiles and went on a full-blown rampage, drinking everything. Yes, a lot of raccoons tend to live in the ceiling because it's nice and warm up there. All the heat collects, I know people get annoyed with that, but I'm like, come on, man. Why should I let raccoons freeze to death outside? What are they doing? Chewing my cables, I guess? If they want to burn themselves out on an electric cable, they can go ahead and do that. Martin said she took the raccoon back to the animal shelter, though she had a fair share of giggles along the way. Another day in the life of an animal control officer, I guess, she said. The Hanover County Animal Protection and Shelter commended Martin for handling the break-in and confirmed the raccoon had sobered up. After a few hours of sleep and zero signs of injury, other than maybe a hangover and a poor life choice, he was safely released back to the wild, hopefully having learned that breaking and entering is not the answer, the agency said. So there's your short little update. The raccoon is okay, if not a little drunk or a little hungover. But no cuts. You would worry with all that glass. And the image I want you to see in your mind's eye, is a trash can. Some space between a trash can and a toilet. And in that space between the trash can and a toilet is a raccoon on its belly, starfished, with its tail, like all its limbs limp, and it's just passed out on the floor in its own pile of its piss. And that's what it looks like. And trust me, I can't describe anything better than that. That's what.
Oh, you'll see it next. I'm ready for my sarcasm because you'll be seeing this. You'll be seeing this on the new Dr. Drew show. It's premiering on MTV called Raccoon Rehab. There's your sarcasm.
Raccoon Rehab, now coming soon. I mean, they've done some studies. I don't know if you heard about this, but raccoons are getting more domesticated because of their relations with human beings, and they're getting shorter snouts, just like how dogs got shorter snouts and cats. And they look like city raccoons look totally different from country raccoons right now because they're being domesticated naturally. So soon we might have pet raccoons.
They have opposable unlike appendages too, like we do, so they can.
Well, that's the one worrying thing about pet raccoons is they have hands. They can get into all of your things. Yeah. You're gonna have to baby-proof your whole house.
Teach them to use tools.
If you have a pet raccoon.
Who built your house? My raccoons built a house, and I taught them how to pound nails.
Okay, let's roll the next segue for your story.
Oh, we got stealing going on.
Wheel and it's rolling now. It's gonna land on
This
non sequitur.
Squeater.
Non sequitur.
On the floor. Batteries came out of my remote control. Non sequitur for R2. Excuse me. A man stole a bus. This is a story from early November that we missed somehow. But now we're going to correct that. We're going to correct that error. This is from CBC.ca. Samantha Beatty, man who took Hamilton bus on joyride. Did a great job driving. Left no dings, he said. That's right. 38-year-old of no fixed address let passengers on and off at bus stop. That's right. The audio version of this article, blah, blah, blah. I don't want there. Text me. A man took a Hamilton City bus on a joyride Tuesday. This would have been November 11th. So Tuesday, November 11th, 3 weeks ago. With passengers on board, say police, at 9 p.m., a bus driver parked at downtown McNabb bus terminal and left for a short break. Hamilton police said in a news release Wednesday, a 36-year-old man of no fixed address. I love that. I'm homeless, I'm no fixed address. A 36-year-old of no fixed address boarded the bus, sat down at the driver's seat, and drove away up to the mountain. The bus was an extra long articulated model, meaning it had an accordion-like attachment joining the first vehicle to the second vehicle, said police spokesperson Trevor McKenna. The man made several stops along the way, allowing passengers to get on and off the bus stops. At roughly any time, 10 passengers were on the bus, McKenna said. There was not a ding on the bus. He did a great job, said McKenna. It's comical, but at the same time, it's serious. Good thing nobody was hurt. Transit Director Nancy Purser said the city is working with police to see if the charges can be made to prevent similar incidents in the future. Changes can be made. I don't know. Don't leave your buses unlocked when you go to break. That might be the thing you might want to do. The union representative drivers did not respond to a request for comment. He's like, wow, our drivers really don't have a lot of skill. Anybody can do their job, right? Not necessarily a frustrated one-time bus driver. He hasn't been identified. At first, passengers didn't realize the man wasn't a bus driver, McKenna said, but when he started making some wrong turns, they started asking him questions. One gave him directions to return to the scheduled route. He went as far as to deny someone looking to board with an expired bus pass. Oh, wait a minute there. That bus pass expired last week. What are you, some kind of criminal? He denied him. You can't take a ride on my illegal bus because you ain't got a pass. That is funny. He denied somebody a ride. That is so wrong. Police strategically followed the bus, mindful of the potential risk, but safety. Police are like, what are we going to pull them over for? Making all the stops? Now, if they're in America, they would have just filled the bus full of bullets and killed all the passengers, right? Officers, I might be exaggerating, but only a tiny bit. Officers worked with Hamilton Street Railway and accessed the bus's GPS to know where it was going, as if the guy was making all the right turns anyway. McKenna said they kept their sirens off. We didn't want to spook them, he said. We didn't want to make this a tragedy. When it stopped at West 5th Street about 15 minutes later, the man was taken into custody without incident. He was charged with theft of over $5,000, possession of over $5,000, obstruct police. What? Obstruct police is kind of a reach. I'd be dropping that one. Obstruct police and drive while prohibited. Oh, okay, so he didn't have a license. Again, that's the minimum fine. Yeah. Having a license. He doesn't have a fucking house, man. Well, now he's got a place to live. It's the big house. And that's maybe where he wanted to be. A nice, warm jail cell in December.
Some people are like that in the winter. Hey, what can I do to do a crime so I can be warm this winter?
Yeah, the tropical paradise known as Ontario, Canada, right? Yeah, let's all live outside all winter. McKenna said they didn't release the man's name because there may be a mental health component. Nah, I think he's just normally, he wants to be warm. And taking a bus.
Being homeless makes you kind of mentally unstable. Yeah, you're always
if there was
worried
ever a
that you're going to get
crime,
paranoid. I think you get paranoid.
There was ever a victimless crime in the history of the world. This is it. Where's your story? Where's your
I just ate some candy and I have candy in my mouth.
Who will think of the poor people, Mr. Bus? Yeah.
My favorite thing about the winter
maybe the poor people, Mr. Bus,
is being in the building.
Yep.
Even though I still think the building I'm in is very cold. It's way warmer than outside. There's no wind shear.
Yeah.
I'm not getting attacked by icicles.
A roof.
Yeah. Nothing's coming down on me.
Nothing beats. If you live,
I don't gotta fight a tomcat for
Jamaica,
a place to sleep at night. Nobody wants to fight a tomcat for a place to sleep.
You can be homeless all year round. Live in Southern California, you can be homeless all year round. You live in Ontario, Canada, there's a limit, right?
It's illegal. It should be illegal
really soon.
It is in a way. It is illegal to be homeless, but I mean, people should do something.
Illegal. They're going to lock people up for being poor pretty soon in the United States. That's coming next.
Mm-hmm. You have another story?
They're already doing it. They're already locking people up for it. Yes, we have another stealing story. Stolen driveway is getting more bizarre. The stories just get more bizarre as we go along. Local3news.com. I don't know what city this is, but I guess I'll find out in the story. I guess I should have found out beforehand. Sierra Rucker wrote this story for a local TV station. While this sounds like something out of a sitcom, a local woman had concrete evidence that shows otherwise. Oh man, I love fun. Local realtor Paige Batten purchased a home in October. Oh, she's a realtor. Oh, this might be a disgruntled former person who had them as a client, right? Right, I mean, or was a client. Who knows? Over the summer, Batten listed the home for sale. Okay. Local realtor Paige Batten purchased the home in 2024 to flip and resell it. That's great. Realtors just buying homes so they can steal money, basically. I just say, here's my thing about buying homes. You shouldn't be able to own more than you should never be able to own more homes than people that are in your family. And you shouldn't be able to own rental properties unless you rent to people who are also have a chance to own that home. You should only do rent to own. Renting a home should be completely needed as a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Every rental should be rent to own. Because you need to get equity in something you're sending that money to every month. And basically, it's you in poverty. This country is too much rent for the top, and we need to change everything about it. Anyway, this is America, I believe, this story. Local realtor Paige Batten purchased a home on October 24th. She listed a home for sale. On Friday, potential buyers and her agent called Batten to notify her that something was missing with the home. I had a call last Saturday morning, and she was like, hey, we're thinking about putting in an offer. We were going to finish up the driveway, and I'm like, the driveway, a couple of cracks in it, but we're not planning on redoing the driveway. And well, she's like, well, maybe we're at the wrong house, explained Batten. Batten tells Local 3 News that at least 3 vehicles were at the home on Friday, according to Batten. There was a truck with a trailer, a dump truck hauling a backhoe, and a king cab truck hauling a backhoe. So 2 different backhoes. They really wanted to get that driveway out fast. After speaking with the neighbors, she said the trucks were there from nearly 9 a.m. to just after 11 a.m. How long does it take to tear out a driveway? The answer is 2 hours. I actually called the non-emergency number. That's a lady, I said. I don't even really know what I'm reporting. So I told her, and she was like, what? Like, everybody just goes, what? Like, that must be a Canada thing or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what city this is right still yet. Now everybody's in shock, and some people have thought it was an AI picture that wasn't even real. I'm like, no, it's real, I promise, said Batten. We spoke to several neighbors in the area, many who say they assumed it was a job Batten hired them to do. Some described the trucks that were previously mentioned, while others described they sound similar to a bulldozer. So I was taking my kids to the bus every morning, like we do, and we saw them taking up the driveway, and I thought they were just replacing it for the homeowner. The cop came by, and somebody unfortunately stole it somehow, which is bizarre, said April Renner, the neighbor.
Dude, now I saw somebody moving their frickin' driveway. Get your cousin's truck. Let's go.
Yeah, now Batten is hoping to find the people behind this. She told Local 3 News she believes the workers just had the wrong address and wishes they would come forward. If not, this could cost her nearly $12,000. The biggest thing is just trying to, find out who did this by myth. That's trying to accuse anybody or anything. But just hopefully somebody will come forward and go, hey, we made a mistake. and own up to it, and hopefully you'll get a driveway porch without us having to pay all this money. So I'm going to try to figure out what city this was, unless you found out. There's your story.
Yeah. Okay.
Stolen driveway. You don't see that every day.
I guess you know how in a bit of a non sequitur. This is similar to when you have to watch all your packages this time of year because people start stealing your packages off of your porch. Now we have to watch our own driveways because people are stealing them off you, like right off of under your nose.
Yeah, it can't be. It isn't like they sneakily did it. They did it in broad daylight.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying, right?
This was in Orange County.
This is crazy. I just saw someone steal your driveway. Huh?
No. I
didn't even know it was possible.
No, it wasn't in Florida.
But I guess
I don't know what city this is. I still don't know. Whatever, Channel 3. Tennessee? Nope, that's an older story. This has happened quite a bit, apparently. Nope, doesn't even say. That's 2 years ago this happened in Florida. This happens a lot more than I thought. Woo! Orange County, Florida happened 2 years ago.
People stealing driveways.
Well, maybe someday we'll figure out what city this is. I don't know. I don't know why news stories don't include the actual information they need to include. I mean, it's first day of reporter school. They tell you the 5 W's, and they forgot the where part. They just said, our town. That's not where. It's a national story. Dirtbags. Put the city you're in the heading of the story, not just, hi, I'm a reporter. Ain't I special? Put the name of the city. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, there's my editorial.
Where is this? You're just going to have to worry about it. If you live anywhere, watch out for your driveways. If you just live in a place.
Keep an eye on your... Unless your driveway's made of dirt, and then it'll be like, what are you doing? You're stealing my dirt. That doesn't even make sense. There's dirt everywhere.
Okay, let's go to our next segue.
Next spin.
And our culture news here.
I did send you a video. You can play the whole thing.
Okay, let me find this video. I should have probably seen it earlier, but I wasn't looking.
It's only 1 minute and 4 seconds.
Our segue is going to be... Oh, I've played the music now. Another non sequitur. Would you like a re-roll?
Nah, let's spin it, man. Let's spin it. I want to use my brain for a change.
Okay. Let me re-roll the wheel.
Now that I've got a half a cup of coffee in me, or 3/4. That Fabergé egg ought to be coming out anytime now. Bad pun. Right.
Okay, my culture news is about something that doesn't really matter, which most wacky and weird news doesn't matter. And the British have they've stated what they believe is Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Start fighting in the comments right now. This is serious. This is from David Morquand on Euronews Culture. The annual debate on whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not has finally been resolved. Has it really? A new poll reveals only 38% of UK public think that Bruce Willis's Actioneer is a festive classic. There is a doctored photo of him wearing a Santa hat, though, which is really funny. A New York cop wearing a white tank top that accountably goes from mildly dirty to completely filthy far too quickly takes down a bunch of vaguely European terrorists at a Christmas party in Los Angeles skyscraper, while our unlikely hero attempts to mend the strained relationship with his estranged wife, as Vaughn Monroe croons, "Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow." A festive rush worthy of Double Bill with It's a Wonderful Life, right? Yeah, I love watching Die Hard and It's a Wonderful Life. Those are my 2 Christmas films. Well, not for everyone, as the conversation around whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie has become as controversial as the presence of a bread sauce during already heavy seasonal dinners. I'm sorry, that is a British reference that nobody's gonna understand. A bread sauce is a traditional British sauce made from milk, thickened with breadcrumbs, often served with a roast chicken or turkey. It typically includes ingredients like onion, nutmeg, cloves, and can be enjoyed warm and cold. And I think the drama here is that you're not supposed to be eating it during Christmas. You have other things you can eat for Christmas. Seriously, who thought liquid carbs was an idea worth materializing? Bread sauce. Every year, pop culture's most heated holiday dispute rears its ugly head. Is the 1988 Bruce Willis classic a seasonally appropriate watch? Both sides of the never-ending argument have their ardent defenders, and even Willis and Die Hard screenwriter Steve E. D'Souza can't agree on the matter. D'Souza declared in 2017 that Die Hard is in fact a Christmas movie. But a year later, Willis made the bold statement that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's a goddamn Bruce Willis movie. Okay, Bruce. We know where we stand on the matter, do we? I think it's okay for it to be a Christmas movie. It happens during Christmas. So that's my opinion. What's your opinion, Dad? They say they seen him hanging over Minneapolis, St. Paul. You're muted. UFOs, UFOs in the beginning stages.
I was coughing, so I muted myself. What's my opinion on it being a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
It happens during Christmas?
Yes, it does happen during Christmas.
Just like Hollywood Confidential, right? Remember that movie?
It happens during Christmas.
Russell Crowe. Kim Basinger. Yeah, happens during Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. The first scene is a Christmas.
Well, that's where we stand on it. Where Euronews stands on it, I'm not sure. First of all, this is how they stand, I guess. Who cares? And I have to agree. Watch what makes you happy and stop ruining Christmas jumper competition. 2, if Euronews has to weigh in, Die Hard is a Christmas film. As it starts on Christmas Eve, features holiday classics like Let It Snow and Winter Wonderland, and John McClane's wife is named Holly. What's more Christmas than that? Holly, for Christ's sake, what more proof do you need? Plenty, as it turns out, as Euronews finds itself at odds with the United Kingdom. Indeed, the British public's verdict is, and according to them, Die Hard does not qualify as a Christmas film. The survey of 2,000 people, which is not a lot of people. That's not a lot of people. There could be more people in this survey. Posted by the British Board of Film Classification, BBFC, found that 44% did not believe Die Hard to be a seasonal classic, while 38% defended the film as a Yuletide favorite. The remaining 17% were unsure. Cowards. Elsewhere, and less controversially, the survey found that Home Alone was the UK's clear holiday favorite, with 1 in 5, which is 25%, voting for the 1990 comedy classic as their number 1 pick holiday film. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, is far superior, but whatever. It does feature the clown in chief, so. Nearly 1 in 10, 9%, chose the romantic comedy Love Actually. You can read Euronews' polarizing thoughts about that somewhere else, followed by the 1946 James Stewart classic It's a Wonderful Life. That should be number 1. I don't know how that's not number 1. That's the best Christmas film ever invented. I'm biased. We did watch it every year. Along with the Christmas Story, right? Christmas Story playing on repeat permanently on like Lifetime, and then A Wonderful Life as well, just over and over and over again. Elf criminally took 4th place with only 7%. When it came to what makes perfect Christmas film, A Heartwarming Story led the way, 33%, followed by family friendliness and humor. So if it's a heartwarming story with family friendliness and humor, it's a Christmas film. Well, if it happens at Christmas, right? If it doesn't have those things, which Die Hard doesn't have a lot of that stuff, it definitely has humor. I'm not sure if it's family friendly, though. David Austin, chief executive of the BBFC, said that research showed that heartwarming, family-friendly stories continue to sit at the heart of the nation's Christmas viewing traditions. The research also revealed that 43% believe it's acceptable to start watching Christmas movies from the beginning of December, with 13% getting a head start by watching their favorite films at the start of November, 1 month early. 8% admitted enjoying Christmas movies all year round. You know what? Let's do a Christmas in July. Meanwhile, just under a fifth, 18%, of the respondents said going to the cinema over the Christmas period was a tradition for them and their family. Of those, a third, 33%, said they go before Christmas Eve, while 20% preferred to go on Boxing Day. That's cool. I've never thought about going to the cinema on Christmas. So what will you be watching during the holiday season? Is it Yippee-Ki-Yay or Yippee-Ki-Nay for Die Hard's credentials as a Christmas movie?
There
you go. Yippee-ki-yay.
You stole my joke. You almost stole my joke there. Okay, are you ready for my pun?
Yes, I am.
If you mistletoe this movie, you'll be sorry. Thank you. And my bonus joke is I finished the end of that poem the night before Christmas. You know that one?
Yeah.
I finished the end of it, and I heard him exclaim as he flew out of sight, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers, and to all a good night." There's the end.
That's good. All right, great job. Right, great puns as always. The pun master over here. Let's roll our segue for this day in history.
We got stolen driveways, stolen buses, and reindeer going crazy. Raccoons going crazy. Bears doing what they normally do. And we got this day in history.
Metaphor for this day in history.
Mixing the metaphors again. Wait, did you do that already, or did you just a regular metaphor?
No, I get accurate last time. Similes and accurate metaphor.
We're going back to December 3rd of 1552. St. Francis Xavier, the leading Roman Catholic missionary of modern times, died of fever. How do you die of fever? Fever is a symptom. He died of fever off the coast of China. He probably got bit by a mosquito or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah, China. He probably got measles. Not measles. Sorry.
Yeah, something coastal. It's going to be
probably the thing that you get from mosquitoes, malaria.
Yeah, malaria, yellow fever, berry. Who knows? He dropped dead this day in 1552, and he ain't coming back. 1721, German composer Johann Sebastian Bach married his second wife, Anna Magdalena Wiccan. Apparently, he was collecting wives. I don't know. Makes it sound like he has two wives at a time, doesn't it? Anyway, he married the Magdalena Wiccan, who was the daughter of trumpeter at Weisenfels. He married a trumpeter's daughter. 1818, Illinois was admitted as the 21st state in the United States of America.
Congratulations.
Didn't even have a half of the states. 1818, 100 and, actually 200 years ago. 207 years ago. 1854, after hastily constructing a fortification and barricading themselves inside, miners working at the Eureka goldfield in Australia opened fire on the government forces surrounding the stockade, the culmination of long-standing grievances as part of the diggers. Yeah. You're working at a mine for some rich assholes as a slave. I don't think I'd have a problem with that. I don't know about you. Yeah. Dude, if you're doing anything and they're not giving you some money for it, don't do it. Just make them shoot you. You know what I mean? What are you going to be? You're going to do work for free the rest of your life. Nah, this is why slaves revolted every single time. That's why you had to keep them in chains. 1857, English writer Joseph Conrad, whose notable works included the novel Lord Jim and the novella Heart of Darkness, was born. There's some really nasty names for Heart of Darkness. Oof. I don't even think I would read a book called The Heart of Darkness. I don't even think I want to know about it. Oh, let me get really depressed. It sounds like a horrible name for a book, sorry. I guess he just didn't care. Everybody was depressed in England in 1857. Look at your Dickens novels, right? I'm entertaining myself. In 1895, on this day, Anna Freud, who's the founder of psychoanalysis, of child psychoanalysis, and one of its foremost practitioners, was born in Vienna. And they got a picture of half of her face. That must be the Britannica thing. In 1947, Tennessee Williams, The Streetcar Named on Broadway, starring Jessica Tandy of Driving Miss Daisy back when he was young. Kim Hunter and Marlon Brando back when he was young. All of them not young anymore. The latter two appeared in a 1951 film adaptation. Carday and Desire. That movie. Where, he's not exactly sure about the movie, what exactly the plot is, but I think I watched it a long time ago. 1967, Christian Barnard in South Africa performed the first human heart transplant at Groote Schuur Hospital in Cape Town, South Africa. So the first heart transplant took place 58 years ago today. In 2000, Gwendolyn Brooks died in Chicago. She's a Pulitzer Prize-winning poet who spoke of and to the everyday struggles and triumphs of African Americans. She strongly resembles Michelle Obama. On December 3rd, 1984, gas leak in Bhopal, India. On this day, 1984, gas leak from the Union Carbide plant in Bhopal, India. Yeah, you're so happy you got yourself a chemical plant in your town. This might change your mind. Spread over a populating area, ultimately in 15,000 and 2,000 deaths, and leaving some 500,000 survivors with chronic medical ailments. Yeah, and all those people were doing was sleeping in their beds. That's all they were doing. And Union Carbide's like, let's have a gas leak and not tell anybody about it. Yeah. So they paid a big settlement. I don't think Union Carbide's even a thing anymore. I think that did them in. They probably just got bought up by another big conglomerate. That's all that ever happens. They have assets that have to be dealt with, so somebody has to take care of all that poisonous gas they're making. And why are we making poisonous gas again? No idea. Gilbert Stuart, American painter.
Illegal chemical warfare.
No, I'm sure they're legitimately making chemicals that people use, but they have a byproduct of poisonous gas, right? So again, greed overtakes everything. Not the public good, not anything else, just naked greed. Who cares about safety? It's another example of oligarchs not giving a shit. Because dead people don't talk. They don't tell you the story. Gilbert Stuart, American painter, was born today. He's the guy that painted, I believe, he painted the unfinished portrait of George Washington. That's very famous. Where he doesn't smile because his teeth are from, like, dead slaves and whatever. Or maybe even live slaves. You know, George might have been kinky into that shit. You know, I'll give you $5 for that tooth. Anyway, back to Gilbert Stuart, who might be related to us. I have no idea. December 3rd, it's spelled Stuart, which a lot of people changed their name to sound fancy back in those days.
Yep.
December 3rd, 1775 is his birthday. Sanderson, Rhode Island, he was born, so not French at all. Died July 9th in 1828 in Boston. He had to be 72, but he did not get to finish George Washington's portrait. I believe George Washington actually died or something. Something weird happened, but he died way after George Washington. Something suspicious is going on. I think he just had an appointment or something. Who knows, man. 1884, Rajendra Prasad birthday, President of India. Other birthdays today: Jean-Luc Godard, born in 1930, French director. Ozzy Osbourne's birthday. Ozzy would be a ripe old 77 today. He died earlier this year. Happy birthday to Ozzy. Julianne Moore, American actress who, my favorite movie, Big Lebowski. She's in Big Lebowski. She was born this day in 1960. She turned 65. Time to get that Social Security check. Sean Parker, American entrepreneur, born in 1879. And what days is it today? I won't waste any more of your time. We're going to get right to it. It's National Roof Over Your Head Day. We're talking about that poor guy who stole the bus. Now he's got a roof over his head. National Package Protection Day. We talked about that earlier. People steal your damn packages off your porch. It's really easy to catch them. Just put up a camera.
And also, drive-through
glitter bomb
protection day, I guess.
Yeah, always keep a box that says it's glitter bomb on your porch, right? So when I open it, they really can't get rid of that glitter. Glitter gets in their hair, gets all over them. And especially if there's a little bit of adhesive on it, it's going to stick right forever. There's your stories. Anyway, we had your limerick. We didn't have any limericks today, did we? We had alliteration headlines. We had smart-ass comments. And we had jokes. And we had weird news. Everything for December 3rd, 2025 on before, I guess. Well, there's no food today. But just be glad you got a roof over your head. But don't eat it because...
Before that delicious package of brownies your grandma sent you in the mail that have been protected from those thieving brownie snatchers.
Right. Yeah. Just be glad.
On before whatever I just said.
Right.
The longest outro. Okay, I have realized that I did not cover any of our international UN observances the last 3 days, so we're gonna do those. Redux. World AIDS Day was on Monday, which we did talk about AIDS on Monday, so that makes sense that UN was observing it yesterday. So let's remember all those people who were abandoned by their governments because they were seen as some sort of marginalized, deserving of being just killed disease. We're so happy that we learned our lesson from the AIDS crises and did not do that for COVID. I'm sure it still happens somewhere, but for the most part, the world didn't just ignore it and say, well, they deserve to die. Because HIV prevention is still very important, even if it's not a deadly disease anymore. You should still not go out of your way to catch it, okay? So make sure you practice prevention and safety.
The reason it's... Just bring up the reason it's a preventable disease now is because of awareness, no other reason. So yes, it's important to have 100%. These days. Right?
If you just ignore a disease and pretend it's not a problem for you, you'll never have people getting paid to research how to fix it. Yesterday, it was International Day for the Abolition of Slavery. Slavery is still happening all over this world.
We're just talking about it.
Under other
We're
words.
just talking about the mines in Australia where they hey, go dig for gold. We're not going to pay you.
You can't leave. Forced conscription into a corporation, right? We own this whole town. You work for us, and you're going to accept the prices you make here, or you can go die and starve to death. Of course, women are commonly sold off into different types of slavery. It's forced labor, okay?
Once you subjugate somebody,
80% of forced labor is found in the private sector, so not in the public, in the private. Those secret businesses doing illegal shit. Today
that's the paradox
is International Day of Persons with Disabilities. This can be something as simple as I'm blind. I need glasses to see. That's the disability. That's a disability. Or my asthma, right? I have asthma. I can't go running straight off and sprinting down the road without falling over and dying. But also, there's people who are facing discrimination because of these things. These are what are called silent disabilities, right? Nobody can see that I have asthma or I'm blind, unless I'm wearing my glasses. But there's people who experience
sometimes there's just a bias against people with glasses for crying out.
That's true.
Hey,
there's plenty of people who have more debilitating disabilities who are treated badly by systems who are supposed to protect them. They don't get the care and support they need. And some even die 20 years earlier than they're supposed to, right? Because they have a disability and they're treated badly their whole lives. They die 20 years early. Imagine if I just died right now because I was treated badly for stigma. So stop the stigma, support people with disabilities. They didn't ask to be disabled. Nobody asked for this shit. So let's stop treating them like they deserved it from some sort of God sending right or whatever.
There's an ancient saying that translates to be nice to all the people on the way up because sooner or later you're going to meet them on the way down.
And they're going to kick you in the face.
That's right. So, you're not always going to be on. Someday you're going to be just laying in a bed helpless because you're 106. Doesn't matter how rich you are. And there's going to be some bastard there going, I don't care about this fucking guy. And there you go.
And just like the miners in Victoria, yeah, exactly. Rise up against those people who force you.
It's the paradox of the slave owner.
To dig and dig for their money. Fight again. Proletariat, rise up!
But listen to the point of view of the slaveholder does have a point. Even if he wants to let slaves free, he knows. Right? Because that's what he would do. That's not what he would do. His mind functions in retribution. Therefore, he's only retribution and not be grateful and not get the fuck away from it as fast as possible. Because that's just another form of slavery. So, get the fuck out of town is what they do. Slave owners didn't think that. They saw other slaves that were being held captive kill their masters. And they said, well, that's obviously what's going to happen if I let them free. They're going to come and kill me. Well, if you mistreat them, anyway, so there's your... That's why slavery just perpetuated itself, right?
Yeah.
What would they do without me? That's another thing. What would they do without me?
Probably live a happy life where they don't have to listen to you all the time. Yeah.
Move to the city, start a freaking blues band. don't know what they do without it. Let's find out. Anyway.
They'll never know, yeah, because you're keeping them chained up. This has been Allison here from the Netherlands and Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. as we finish off another Before Coffee episode, another Wacky and Weird Wednesday. I hope you've been just as bewildered as us about the weird shit going on in the world. We'll see you tomorrow for our Thursday's 13 list. Roger's going to drop a list of 13 things, and we're going to discuss them, argue with them, and maybe even disagree on some things. So, don't forget to follow us on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, and turn those notifications on so you know when we go live and post a video. Subscribe. Support us on Patreon if you can for as little as $1 a month. And here is our very Christmassy themed mic drop moment.
Sure. Christmassy themed. It's got Christmas.
I didn't bring my bells.
Eric Idle.
Fuck Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a waste of fucking time.
Eric Idle from Monty Python.
Fuck Santa.
He would like it too.
He's just out to get your dime.
Yeah, he really wants that money.
And fuck Ivy and fuck all that mistletoe.
Yeah, stop kissing people.
Stupid fucking Christmas songs everywhere you go. And bloated big fat bastards.
Stop. You know if you start burping, it means you ate too much. Fun fact.
It's fucking Christmas time.
Yeah, I haven't eaten anything today, so it's not me.
Fuck Christmas. It's a fucking Disney show. Fuck turkey.
Leave the turkeys alone.
That fucking snow.
Lucky for us, it'll never snow again in a hot planet.
Fuck Rudolph with his stupid fucking nose. Fucking sleigh bells ringing everywhere you fucking goes. Fuck stockings and fuck shopping. It just
I agree, I hate shopping. I get like anxious after a while.
Go tell the elves to fuck themselves. It's Christmas time again.
Thank you, Eric Idle.
It's over. The song master of Monty Python comes up with another one.
The song master. Oh, I didn't know that.
Who's the funniest
Python? That's fun.
Who's the funniest Python? I was like, it's hard to even decide who's. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels: Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.